श्रीमद सद्गुरु सरकार की जय। लाडली लाल की जय। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। बोले राजा रामचंद्र की
जय।
अज्ञान तिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। भुजगतल्पगतं घनसुन्दरं गरुडवाहनमं भुजलोचनं जलधिजाश्रितवामकलेवरं भजत रे मनुजा कमलापतिं। नमः कमलना भाय नमः कमलमालिने नमः कमलपादाय नमस्ते कमलेक्षण। यो ब्रह्मणं विदधाति पूर्वं यो वै वेदांश्च प्रहिणोति तस्मै तद्ग्वं देवमात्मबुद्धिप्रकाशं मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये। बोल राजा रामचंद्र की जय। प्रिय भक्तजन, महानुभाव, dearest devotees of the Supreme Lord, the Divine Souls. First, let me say Radhe Radhe to each and everyone, and my pranam, my humblest prostrations to all of you. We have been doing verses of this beautiful divine kirtan written by that greatest saint, Jagadguru Tam, Shri Kripalu Mahaprabhu. This kirtan, which is glorifying the Guru, the saint. Jayati Guruvar, Jayati Guruvar, Jayati Guruvar Pyare. Our beloved and most supreme divine spiritual master, Guru, all glories to you again and again and again. So we have been doing these wonderful verses and we continue tonight. Jayati Guruvar, Jayati Guruvar, Jayati Guruvar Pyare. Jayati Guruvar, Jayati Guruvar, Jayati Guruvar Pyare. Jayati Guruvar Pyare.
जयति गुरुवर, जयति गुरुवर, जयति गुरुवर प्यारे। जयति गुरुवर, जयति गुरुवर, जयति गुरुवर
हो जयति गुरुवर जयति गुरुवर जयति गुरुवर प्यारे जयति गुरुवर जयति गुरुवर जयति गुरुवर प्यारे जयति गुरुवर प्यारे
जयति गुरुवर जयति गुरुवर जयति गुरुवर प्यारे जयति गुरुवर जयति गुरुवर जयति गुरुवर प्यारे जयति गुरुवर प्यारे
कहत हरि जो भक्त मेरे भक्त नहीं मम प्यारे कहत हरि जो भक्त मेरे भक्त नहीं मम प्यारे भक्त नहीं मम प्यारे
कहत हरि जो भक्त मेरे भक्त नहीं मम प्यारे कहत हरि जो भक्त मेरे भक्त नहीं मम प्यारे भक्त नहीं मम प्यारे
हो कहत हरि जो भक्त मेरे भक्त नहीं मम प्यारे कहत हरि जो भक्त मेरे भक्त नहीं मम प्यारे भक्त नहीं मम प्यारे
कहत हरि जो भक्त मेरे भक्त नहीं मम प्यारे कहत हरि जो भक्त मेरे भक्त नहीं मम प्यारे भक्त नहीं मम प्यारे
Before I go into translation of this verse, tomorrow all over the Western world we celebrate in Diwali or Deepavali. Today in India, Diwali has already or Deepavali has already started. What is the significance of Diwali and how we should celebrate Diwali? Mostly on this day people worship Lakshmi, Mahalakshmi, with the hope that they will get wealth, material wealth. Paisa milenge. Mostly if you look at pictures of Mahalakshmi that artists have drawn, you will see gold coins fallen from her hands. Nobody wants Lakshmi. They want the gold coin. And so many people worship all over the world. With the hope by doing this puja of Mother Lakshmi, Mahalakshmi, they will acquire some gold or some money, some wealth. First to begin, we have to understand who is Lakshmi. Lakshmi doesn't mean money. gold, etc. Lakshmi is a divine Shakti of Bhagwan Krishna, Antaranga Shakti, his personal potency. Radha Rani, whom we all know, is none different from Sri Krishna. Yayam Radha Yasha Krishna Rasabid Dehas Chaika Kinanata Dvidha Bhut Atharva Vedi Radhika Tapani Upanishad. The Vedas say that there is no difference between Radha Rani and Sri Krishna. They don't even have two bodies. There was one body, one supreme power, supreme Brahma, and that supreme power takes two forms, do roop, for the sake of krida. Krida means leela, divine pastime. Radhika Krishna Rupam cha Krishna Radha Swarupakah. Sanak Sanghita. The scripture says Radha Rani is the form of Sri Krishna is the form of Radha Rani. Many verses from Vedas, etc. So Radha Rani is that supreme divine Shakti. In the scriptures it says, from the left side of Radha Rani appeared Mahalakshmi. And from the left side of Bhagwan Krishna appeared Mahavishnu. Not understanding the scriptures, people think that Sri Krishna is a descension of Mahavishnu. In the world, mostly the word incarnation is used. It's a wrong word. God does not do reincarnation. Reincarnation means flesh, blood. The word avatar doesn't mean reincarnation. It means nichayana, to come down. Somebody is standing on top of a building and he comes down, that is a avatar. So Bhagwan descends from his divine abode. That's what the meaning of avatar is. Not reincarnation. Anyhow, so mostly people think because we read Bhagavad, etc., and there's a deeper meaning. Not understanding that, they think and they argue that Mahavishnu is the supreme Brahman and Sri Krishna is the ascension. The one who has written Bhagavad, Mahapuran, etc., Veda Vyas, he is the Avesha avatar, partial manifestation of Sri Krishna. He says, Yasyaika niswasita kalamathavalambya jivanti loma bilaja jagadandanatha Vishnur mahansa ihayasya kala vishesho govindamari purusham tamaham bhajami. Brahma Sanghita, chapter 5, verse 48. Vedavyas is saying, I am a worshipper of that Sri Krishna, that Govind, Sri Krishna, whose partial manifestation is known as Mahavishnu. Besides that, the highest authority in Sanatana Dharma are the Vedas. There's no higher authority than Ved. In the Vedas, a beautiful rendition comes. In the Gopal Tapani Upanishad, beautiful rendition. Kaha paramo devaha. Kaha paramo devaha. Gopal Tapani Upanishad, second mantra. Who is that supreme power, supreme Brahm, above whom there is none? Kuto bhayaha. Gopal Tapani Upanishad, second mantra. Who is that one that even death, Yamraj, is afraid of? Kasya jnanena. Gopal Tapani Upanishad, second mantra. Who is that one that by knowing him, one attains all knowledge. And the Vedas itself gives the answer, Krishno havai paramam daivatam. Gopal Tapani Upanishad, third mantra. Shri Krishna is the supreme power, supreme Brahm. Above him there is none. Govindan Mityur Vibheti. Gopal Tapani Upanishad, third mantra. Shri Krishna is such a terror. He's so terrifying. Yamraj, the god of death, is afraid of him, is trembling with fear. Gopi jana vallabha jnanina khilam tad gyatam bhavati. Gopal Tapani Upanishad, third mantra. And by knowing that Shri Krishna's supreme power, the beloved of the gopis, all knowledge is automatically attained. So that Shri Krishna, whose divine Shakti, Radharani, who is non-different from Shri Krishna, from her manifested Lakshmi, Mahalakshmi. So Mahalakshmi is a divine Antaranga Shakti, potency of Bhagavan Shri Krishna. The word Diwali, Dipavali or Diwali means light, Prakash. जो प्रकाश देते हैं, that which gives light, अंधकार को मिटा के प्रकाश को देने वाला, that which takes away अंधकार, ignorance, darkness and gives light. This is Diwali, Dipavali. We are in darkness. हम लोग अंधकार में हैं. Andhakar, darkness, but there's light all here. What do you mean we're in darkness? Andhakar means agyan, ignorance. We are in ignorance. Hum agyani hai. We are ignorant. What is the ignorance? Hum apne ko bhool gaya. We have forgotten who we are. We have forgotten that we are the soul, the Atma. Because of something called Maya, Maya has overtaken us and we have forgotten that we are the soul, the Atma. So this is the ignorance. Isko mitana. We have to remove that darkness, that ignorance. Then we will celebrate Dipavali or Diwali. As long as that ignorance is there, as long as we do not know who we are, we have not celebrated Diwali, light a diya, buy some sweets, mithai, dance garba. Huh? Now, this is what we think Diwali is. Some people go to the extent of even drinking alcohol, eating meat, gambling, business people. All kinds of craziness. Because we don't understand what is Diwali. So when that knowledge will come, that I am soul, Atma, ये ज्ञान, ये ज्ञात हो जाएगा. That is the Diwali. And how are we going to remove that darkness? So now we were talking about Guru. This is where Guru comes. It's a beautiful verse in Bhagavad Mahapuran. We all say it in our prayer every day, in our evening prayer. Yasya sakshat bhagavati ज्ञान दीप प्रदे गुरौ मर्त्या सधी श्रुतम तस्य सर्वम कुंजर शौचवत. Bhagavad Mahapuran, 7 Canto, 15th chapter, 26th verse. Know the Guru, the one who lights the light, Jnana Deepap, Prade Gurau. He lights that lamp of knowledge, Gyan. So you see, knowledge, true knowledge is being referred to light. Who lights the lamp of true knowledge in the heart of the individual, know him to be Shri Krishna personified. Of course, the rest of it says, do not see him as a material man. Do not use your material mind, intellect to understand him. And one who does that is an elephant, is like an elephant taking bath. Elephant goes in the river, takes bath, goes and then comes in the bank and throws mud, dirt on itself. When we look at Guru as a material person, of course, I'm not talking about the gurus we have in Kali Yuga. Everybody is a Guruji in Kali Yuga. Somebody decides, I don't want to work anymore. He learns a few mantras. Tomeo Mata, Om Siddhi Buddhi Prade Devi. Some few mantras. Whether he can pronounce it properly or not. And he's a Guruji. Blow a shank, ring a bell, and he's Guruji. And then he have followers now. Chelas. It's a business. Big business. In the Kali Yuga Mahima of the Ramayana, Kahak Basundaji tells Guruji, in the age of Kali Yuga, this Sanatan Dharma will become a business, a good way of earning, living, making money. And we see it. So Guru has become a money earner, money maker. The more chelas, the more followers I have, the more money I'll get. And we'll make up all kind of stories. Some will show that I can do siddhi. Some will make a thing of doing magic. Some will say, okay, I can cure any disease you have. I know some ritual that you will do. Do this grah, do this puja, do this, and you'll be fine. And material souls, naive, very simple people in the world who have no idea what is written in the scripture, believe. And majority of us in Kali Yuga, we desire material things, material world. Why do people go to mandir, to the church, to the temple? Why do people will walk in the mandir and some lecture is going on, they will go and ring the bell, disturb everyone and walk out back. Bhagavan was sleeping, I have to wake him up. There is mandir with Bhagwan Krishna, Bhagwan Ram, and then there's a little place one side with 9 fellas, small little fellas. They don't go to Bhagwan. They go to that little place with these 9 small fellas and they do parikrama and they do all these things. Planets, grah. All materialism. Nobody has time with Bhagwan. And even if we pray to Bhagwan, we want to do Lakshmi Puja, Durga Puja, Hanuman Puja. Very few do Shri Krishna Puja, Ram Puja, because they don't give us what we want. Hanumanji gives, Durga Maiya gives, Lakshmi Mata gives. So this is the puja we're going to do. Gives what? Material things. 99.99%, and I'm quoting less, of people who go to mandir, temple, church, masjid, Gurudwara, you name it. What do they pray to God for? For material things. Oh Lord, hey Bhagwan, Hey Hanuman, please let me get a good job. Please let me get a good person to get married to. A good boy, a good girl. My husband is giving me trouble, please fix him. My wife, oh, she's given so much trouble, she's only crawling, not giving me food. Oh, Hanuman, take your mukdar and give her a few. I have no children, I want children. A good motor car, I want to win the lotto, material things. And we are told this is how if you pray to Lakshmi Maya, you will get these things. You pray to Hanuman, you pray to Durga, you'll get a good job, you will win the lotto. You will not die. Eh? Somebody goes and reads the Panchang horoscope. So and so year you're going to get sick, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, and you're going to die. But if you do these things, what I'm telling you, you will not die. Ooh. So what about what the scriptures say? Ayuhu karma cha vittam cha vidyani dhanameva cha panchaitani siddhyanti garbhastasyaiva dehinaha hitopadesh. The scripture says, Ayu, duration of life, how long we'll live for. Karma, what kind of interests we'll have. Whether we want to be a teacher, a doctor, an engineer, a garbage man. Vit, how much wealth will come easily because I've given dan, charity. Vidya, how much knowledge will come easily. Nidhanamevacha, the moment I will die and how I will die. It's all determined the moment the child is conceived in the womb, and no one can change that. Kaha muni sahimavant suno, jo vidhi likha lilar, deva danuj naranaga muni, ko na meta nihar. These people read Ramayana, who are saying they can change everything, they can fix everything. They read Ramayana and hear what Ramayana is saying. Naraji is saying to Himalaya, oh Himalaya, listen to me. Whatever Brahma, Shrishti Karta, the one who is the creator, Brahma, he is the one who writes our destiny. Bhag likhte hai. So a lot of time people come to me, Swamiji, do you read hand? Do you open book? I say, yes, I open book, Bhagavad. Bhagavad Mahapuran, Gita. No, not that book. Read hand, read my hand. What is in your hand? The scripture says, Jo vidhi likha lilar. Lilar, lalat, bhal likhitam. Where's destiny written? On the forehead. Brahma writes our destiny on the forehead. Nobody says, read my forehead. Deva Danuja Naranaga Muni. No Devata, no celestial God, Danuj, no Rakshas, Nar, no human being, no Nag, no being from Patal, Muni Rishi, no one can change, not even Bhagavan can change. And yet some fella tells you, don't worry with that, man, I can change it. I am more powerful than Bhagavan. Forget what is written in Ramayana, Ved, etc. I can change everything. I am more powerful than that. We follow those people because we don't know. So, Where does this destiny come from? Is it written in some book? In the Panchang, in some book? Is it in the stars? Is it fall from the sky? Is it control? Are we controlled by planets? Is our life controlled by planets? Ang da bang? We have to go according to them? No. Bhagavan says, I give you free will. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phal hetu bhurmate sangostva karmani. Chapter 2 verse 47 Gita. Shri Krishna says, वो कहते हैं कर्म करने का अधिकार सबको देते हैं. I give all the right to perform action. I give you free will. Do whatever you want. Good, bad, mixture. Do anything. I give you free will. But I don't give you the right to the fruit, to determine the fruit. Why? Because if we have to determine the fruit, we'll do all the wrong actions and say, I want good fruits. The Bhagavan says, no, do whatever you want. I will give the fruit according to your action. So how do I know what fruit I'm going to get from what action? Bhagavan says, I have given those in my law books. Bhagavan has law book? Ved, Gita, Bhagavad Mahapuran, Ramayana. These are his law books. In these books, Bhagavan have said, if you do these kinds of action, you're going to get this kind of fruit. You do that kind of action, you will get this kind of fruit. Then do now. Well, I have never listened to Gita, Ramayana, Bhagavad. I don't know anything about law. So I can break it. I don't know. By not knowing about the law doesn't mean you can break it. You go to a country and there are certain laws, and you break the law, and then the police takes hold of you and puts you in the jail, and you say, look, policeman, I am from a foreign country. I didn't know I cannot smoke weed in this country. The police said, no. In this country, if you smoke weed, we'll hang you. Ooh. And that's the law of that country. In other country, you can smoke it. So ignorance is not a reason for breaking the law. A child doesn't know fire burns. A little child. So when the child goes to the fire and puts the hand in the fire, does the fire say, okay, baby, you don't know I will burn, so I will not burn you? Does the fire say that? Fire is going to burn, whether you know or don't know. So whether we know or don't, it's your duty to find out. That's why we have to go to the true Guru, not the fake ones. The ones who are just making chelas, followers, and business. We have to find the true Guru. Let him give us the true knowledge. So we're not deceived. In the Vedas it says, Ajam ekam ishta purtam manyamana varishtam nanya cheyo vedayante pramudha nakasya prishtete sukutenu bhulokam hitanam va vishanti avidyaya mantare vartamana swayam dhira panditam manyamana janghanyamana paryanti mudha andhe naivaniyamana yathandha. Mundak Upanishad, first Mundak, second Kand, 8th mantra. The Vedas say those who interpret the scriptures to mean material, acquirement of material things, who think themselves to be Pandit and very wise. The word Pandit here means wise. And misinterpret the scriptures as meaning to acquire material things, to go to heaven, etc. They are fools. mudha. And those who listen to them and follow them, make them guru, and follow them, andhe naiva niyamana yathandhaha. It's like blind leading the blind. They are blind and you follow them. You also blind. One blind man holds the hand of another blind man and starts walking. When we accept people in the world who are under Maya just like ourselves, they have greed, anger, jealousy, hatred, lust, just like us, and we make them guru, is a straight case of blind leading the blind. This is what happens mostly. Somebody sings very nicely, such a good singer. I've seen in certain countries, people look for guru who is the best singer. The guy who is a great singer, he has the most followers. Singing. Singing is a guru. Somebody is very handsome. I want a young Guruji, handsome Guruji. Somebody speaks very nicely, educated materially. We judge externally. Tulsidas ji says in the Ramayana, Lakhi suvesh jagavanchak jeu, Vesha pratap puji ahiteu. Not being able to see on the inside, we're not antaryami. We cannot see on the inside. We look outwardly. We judge outwardly how a person dress, how they speak, how they sing, how they look, which family they belong to. We look outwardly. And this is why instead of true guru, instead of saint, we end up worshipping fake imposters. First, find out what is a guru, who is a guru. Don't just make anyone guru. We have to have a guru. Without guru, we can't get anywhere in the spiritual path. Why do we need guru? Just somebody to put a mantra in your ears, that's it. Why do we need guru? Find out. And find out who is a guru. What qualifies one to be a guru? Went in detail already during this series. Just a reminder, the Vedas say, Pariksha lokan karma chitan brahmano nirvedamayan Nastakitena tadvigyanartham sagurumeva bhigachet samitpani shrotriyam brahmanishtham. Mundak Upanishad, first Mundak, second Kan, 12th mantra. So this Ved mantra is saying we have to have a guru. Compulsory. But there are two things that qualifies him to be guru. Shrotriya, Shrotriyam plus Brahmanishtham. Shrotriya means he has knowledge of all the scriptures. Complete knowledge. Not somebody read a book and memorize. No. Practical knowledge. Complete knowledge. All the Vedas, all the scriptures. And the second quality, which is even more important, he is Brahmanishtham, meaning he has practical experience of God. He has attained God. He's seen God, attained God. Same thing is said in Bhagavad Mahapuran. Tadvir pranipa tasmar gurum papaddeta jigyasu shreya uttamam shabde parichanishnaatam brahman upashamashrayam. Bhagavad Mahapuran, 11 canto, 3rd chapter, 21st verse. Prabhupada Maharaj, one of the 9 Yogeshwaras, saying to Videha Nimi, same exact words of the Vedas. We have to have a guru, but he has to be, number one, Shabde Pare, meaning he must have knowledge of all the scriptures. But more important, he has to be Nishnaatham. He has attained practical experience of God, attained God realization, divine vision, divine knowledge, etc. In Gita also, Tadvir pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshandi te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshinaha. Chapter 4, verse 34. Again, Shri Krishna is saying two qualities. Jnaninaha means one who has all complete knowledge. Complete knowledge. Plus tattva darshinaha. He has seen the tattva. Tattva means Shri Krishna. He has seen God, attained God. Look, in order that someone give us something, he has to have it himself. The aim is to attain that true light, true knowledge to attain in God. How are we going to become free from Maya? How are we going to become free from darkness, from ignorance? So the Vedas tell us, Tameva viditvat mittumeti nanya pantha vidyate yanaya. Shvetashvatara Upanishad chapter 3 verse 8. The Vedas say, only by knowing God, Shri Krishna, can the individual soul become free from Maya, darkness, ignorance. There is no other way. And who is going to make us free from Maya? Who is going to take away that darkness, that ignorance? Shri Krishna. No. The Vedas are saying only Shri Krishna, by knowing Shri Krishna, but how are we going to know Shri Krishna? So this is where Guru comes. There are three definitions for the word Guru. Gum rauti tihi Guru, grinati jnana iti Guruhu, girati ajnana iti Guruhu. Right here the whole Diwali comes. There are two words in the word Guru. Gu and Ru. Gu means andhakar, darkness, ignorance, the darkness of Maya, greed, anger, jealousy, hatred, lust. This is the Gu. In other words, Maya. And what is the Ru? Ru means Prakash, light, divine knowledge, divine bliss, divine vision. So one who can take away Gu, andhakar, darkness, Maya, and give us Ru, light, divine knowledge, divine bliss, that is a Guru. Who can take away Maya? Shri Krishna says, only I. Devi hesha gunamai mama maya duratyaya mame vaye prapadyante maya metantarantite. Chapter 7 verse 14 Gita. Shri Krishna says, hey, you Gyanis who say Maya is a delusion, mithya, an imagination of the mind. Most people you ask what is Maya, they will tell you Maya is an imagination of the mind. We imagine in everything. This world is an imagination. Jagat mithya. In other words, I'm imagining you, you are imagining me. Wow. Jai Ho. All of this right now you are imagining. According to the Gyanis. Bhagavan Krishna says, no, no, no. Daivi hesha. Gunamai. He says, Maya is a divine power. Daivi hesha. Or mama Maya. Meri Maya. Meri means mine. Maya is a power that belongs to Shri Krishna. It is his power. सो दासी रघुबीर की समुझय मिथ्या सोपी छूटय न राम कृपा बिनु नाथ कहूं पद रूपी. Dasi, so Dasi, Raghubir. Tulsidas is also saying Maya is a Dasi, the maid servant of Bhagavan. In other words, his power. Mayam tu prakritim vidyan mainam tu maheshwaram tasya vaiva bhutaistu vyaptam sarvanam jagat. Shweta Shutara Upanishad chapter 4 verse 10. The Vedas are saying Maya is a power that belongs to Sri Krishna. It is his power. Shakti hai Bhagwan ki. And since Bhagwan is real, then Maya is real. It is his power. So Sri Krishna says, Meri Maya, it is my power. And so no one can become free from Maya by themselves. How to become free? Mame vaye prapadyante maya metantarantite. Only the one who completely surrenders to Sri Krishna, then Sri Krishna will say to Maya, hey Maya, leave him, leave her. They are mine now. Only when Sri Krishna tells Maya to go, will Maya leave. And you have to completely surrender. So Sri Krishna says, only I. So how does Guru come here? Because Guru, the real Guru, the true Guru, is Sri Krishna personified. Is Sri Krishna himself. Sri Krishna says, I've been telling you this over and over during this lecture series. Many times I've mentioned this from Bhagavad. Acharya mam vijaniya navamanyet karhichit namartya buddhya suyet sarvadeva mayo guru. You see, we say this prayer every morning. Do we contemplate on what this prayer is saying? Every word? Or we just say word like a parrot? Don't repeat words like a parrot. Feel the meaning. Every word in your heart. This is Bhagavad. Bhagavad is Pancham Ved. Fifth Ved is the translation of Ved. Sri Krishna says, Udhav, know the saint, the true Guru, to be Sri Krishna personified. Mam Vijaniya. Know him to be me, Udhav, Sri Krishna. Do not see him as a man, a material person. Do not use your material mind and intellect to understand him. And know that all forms of God reside in the Guru. Ved, Ramayana, Bhagavad, everywhere. So because Guru is Sri Krishna personified, the true saint, he can take away Maya. A worldly person who is under Maya himself, he is under the control. How can he take away Maya? He can't take away Maya from himself. He will take away Maya from you. He is in darkness, he is going to give light to you. Oh, Kud andhakar mein hai, Kud. He is himself in darkness. How can he give light to others? So he has to be saint. God realized he has to have the power. Maya is no ordinary entity that anybody can just take away Maya. Yogi, Rishi, Muni, they all fall under the control of Maya. This Maya is no ordinary power. It's one of the main powers of Bhagwan. And is beginningless just like Bhagwan. Ajam ekam lohit shukla krishnam bahavi prajaha srijamanam swarupaha ajo heko jushamanunushet jaha tenam bhukta bhogam ajonyah. Shweta Shutara Upanishad chapter 4 verse 5. The word Aja means unborn, eternal, beginningless. Just as Bhagavan is eternal, beginningless, never had a beginning, will never have an end, Maya is also eternal, beginningless. No one can destroy Maya, not even Bhagavan. Recently, I was sitting with a devotee in a vehicle. We were going yesterday, in outing, and he is saying, Bhaiya, I wish that Bhagwan, many times I wish in my mind Bhagwan should destroy Maya. Maya is given so much trouble. Why doesn't Bhagwan destroy Maya? Not even Bhagwan can destroy Maya. Through Bhagwan's grace, we can become free from Maya. But Bhagwan cannot destroy Maya. No one. And once we have become free from Maya, that's it. Once you have come into light, darkness can never overtake light. Sada pashyanti surya tad Vishnu paramam param. The Vedas say, once one has attained that divine knowledge, divine bliss, divine light of God, Maya can never affect them ever again. You know, sometimes people say, one day we were with Bhagwan eternally and something happened in Bhagwan's abode, in God's abode. I did something wrong and I fell. I came in the world and had to suffer. And now I have to go back to God, back to Godhead, they call it. Why go back? You're going to fall again? If I was perfect one day, logically, I was perfect and something made me become imperfect and I fell, then I go back, I will get imperfect again and fall again, stay here and have a good time. All this hard work for millions and millions of lifetimes to attain God realization, and then I fall again. Isn't this nonsense? No, we're not going back to Godhead. We are going to God, so we never come back. Once you attain God realization, it's forever. We have always turned our backs away from God. We have always been under the control of Maya. We have never been perfect. There are souls who are perfect. They are called Nitya Siddha Mahapurush. Their soul, Jeev. But they were never under the control of Maya. We were always under the control of Maya. And one day we will attain God realization, that is called Sadhan Siddh. So there are two kinds of Mahapurush, saint. One is called Nitya Siddha Mahapurush. He's also soul, Jivatma, but he was never under the control of Maya. Always God realized. Jai, Vijay, we have heard about these great entities. And then us, worldly souls who have always been under the control of Maya, we meet a true saint, a true guru. We take shelter in him. We accept him as guru. Accept him. Follow his instruction. Agya Palan. And one day we attain God realization. That is called Sadhan Siddha Mahapurush. And having attained God realization, we attain the same position, the same seat as Nitya Siddha Mahapurush. We don't get anything less. Same seat. Don't think because I am under Maya from uncountable lifetimes and I was such a bad soul and when I attain God I will get a small seat. No. The same position, the same seat as Nitya Siddha Mahapurush. God realization is God realization. So Guru is necessary for Diwali. Because Guru gives light. He has to light that diya inside of us. That's the real diya. I'm not saying don't go outside and light diya tomorrow if you're celebrating Diwali. But that's not the Diwali. The real Diwali, we have to light the diya inside. The knowledge that I am the soul, Atma, I am not this body, I am not Trinidadian, Guyanese, American, Indian, Punjabi, Madrasi, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Hindu, Muslim, Christian. No, no. These are all titles of body. I am not the body. I am a soul, Atma, Jeev. And all my relations is only with Shri Krishna. Shri Krishna alone is my mummy. Shri Krishna alone is my daddy. Shri Krishna alone is my friend. Shri Krishna alone is my wealth. Done. I don't have to pray for Lakshmi. Shri Krishna is my wealth. Dravinang tvameva, we say it, but we don't understand what we are saying. Dravinang tvameva, hey Shri Krishna, you alone are my money, my wealth. Everything. Tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. That will happen when we realize I am the soul, the Atma, when we light that light inside, the knowledge of I am the soul, Atma. The happiness I'm looking for, I'll find only in Shri Krishna. Only. And how are we going to know and attain Shri Krishna? Prem, pyar, love. But I love mummy, I love daddy, I love this one, I love that one. जाते कछु निज स्वार्थ होई ता पर ममता करे सब कोई सुर नर मुनि सब कह यह रीति स्वार्थ लागी करहि सब प्रीति. The basis of all worldly affection is swarth, selfishness. Shiv Bhagwan is saying to Parvati in the Ramayana. The more the outward love and affection we get from anyone in the world, the greater is the selfishness involved. Gaurang Mahaprabhu said something very beautiful. Kamer tarparya nij shambhog kebal Krishna shuk tarparya prem tu prabal lok dharma ved dharma deh dharma karma lajja dharye देह सुख आत्म सुख मर्म कृष्ण सुख सर्व त्याग करे करे कृष्णेर भजन कृष्ण सुख हेतु करे प्रेमेर शिवन अतएव कामे प्रेमी बहुत अंतर काम अंधतम प्रेम निर्मल भास्कर. Chaitanya Charitamrita. To desire one's own happiness is called calm, lust. Not love. What we call love in the world is calm, lust. It sounds bad. I'm not lustful. I don't have lust. Really? You're Mahapurush? We desire our own happiness, no? That is lust. To desire the happiness of Sri Krishna is love, prem. Krishna Shukha Tatparya Premer Prabal. The scriptures are saying, Kame Premi Bahut Antar. The difference between calm, lust, desire, and one's own happiness, and prem, love, is a big, big difference. Kama andhatama, desire for one's own happiness is andhatam, darkness, ignorance. Or prema nirmala bhaskar, divine, or love is like sunshine, light, Diwali. Again Diwali. So that Diwali, when we truly love Shri Krishna, we love God, that Diwali will come. As long as we are under Maya and desire our own happiness, the happiness of ourselves and our family, we are in andhatam, we are in darkness, andhakar. When we love only Shri Krishna, only saint who is Shri Krishna personified, then Nirmala Bhaskar, pure light. In other words, Diwali has come. So wanting to find that light to celebrate Diwali is love. Selfless love. Prabhu Vyapak Sarvatra Samana. Premate Pragat Hoi Mai Jana. In the Ramayana, Tulsidas ji says, Bhagwan, God, pervades in every particle of the world, 100%, not only in the mandir, not only in the murti, everywhere, in the road, in the toilet, in the ram shop, 100% everywhere. But how are we going to attain Him? Prem, love, by loving Him. Milahi na Raghupati binu anuraga kiye jog jap gyan viraga. Anurag means love. We can do yoga, ashtanga yoga, gyan, detachment, dharma, karma. But if there is no anurag, there is no love, we can never know Bhagwan. We can never celebrate Diwali. We will never attain that divine light of Diwali. All of this is why we have to go to Guru. And that's why these verses I have been singing is so important. Teaching us about the divine Guru, the true saint. That Guru is the one who gives us Diwali, who brings the light of true knowledge, true wisdom, true bliss into our heart, true love. Guru gives us Diwali. When that happens, then we would have celebrated Diwali. It's a little bit about Diwali. There's much more, but a little bit. So when we celebrate Diwali tomorrow, we will celebrate in the right way. The rest some other time. Bole Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki, Srimad Sadguru Sarkar ki, Siyavar Ramchandra ki, Pavan Sut Hanuman ki, Raja Ramchandra ki. Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Now we'll